and the best players are not the ones that may sometimes not have the best product, but they do have the most appealing brand that people can relate to. So Pekka, I have to ask you a hard question. Do we have Coca-Cola and Apple in Web3? And if we do, who are they?
I love hard questions. First of all, if you don't mind, I'd like to skip the beverage side of the answer. But definitely anything that relates to Apple, we have a lot to learn when it comes to decentralized solutions, DLT technology, cryptos, blockchain, and on our way to Web3. They have two fundamentals that we must follow. First is the quality. For early days, they're really good on quality, even they were not so big in the beginning. Microsoft was first on the personal computing, then Apple came a little bit. But what happens with iPhone, and I'm a little bit sad also what happens to iPhone, because I come from Finland and they kicked out Nokia from the markets because of the ease of use. So that's something that we need to understand. We'll never make it mainstream in Web3 application solutions platform if there's no ease of use. We need to have Web2 experience, ease of use, user experience, user interface. The same that we have on Web2, we need to have that on Web3 and on our way to Web3. And today, the only way to do it, we need to have hybrid model, because the technology, decentralized technology, is still too difficult to use as such. If you implement something on blockchain, you are immediately related to wallets. It's quite difficult to understand if you compare that to any Web2 application, for example. But we are getting there. There are technologies like account abstraction, which means that it's combination already easier to access to your crypto blockchain wallets, and also how you can cut, even you can have the mechanisms that your transactions are free on these account abstraction wallets. So, summarizing, yes, we have a lot to learn about Apple and other Web2 successful brands, ease of use and the quality.
Love that answer. Curious to also, though, have a quick follow-up there. Do you think there is a very distinctive difference between building a Web2 brand and a Web3 brand? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, again, it comes to the fundamental foundation, blockchain as the foundation of the technology. It is difficult to use. It's difficult to understand. But as you pointed out, Alnura, already, that we should not even care. If you're online, we should be online and get the benefit of what there is for us. But then again, the major difference is that this decentralization is changing the internet for us. And that's something that we need to have in our minds, that now the internet is owned by a few guys only, a few companies only. But blockchain is permissionless, is trustless, is borderless. Everybody can join these platforms, these services, these applications the way you want. No questions asked, permissionless. You don't have a boss, you don't have a company. You will have your role if you want. Still too difficult, but that's something that Web2 will never compete with us. That's the major difference. And I hope your programmers, if you are coders there in the audience, work hard to make the easier to access, easier to use applications, services, and platforms.
Coming back to life of SocialFi, and two, is monetization really the only drive for innovation?
First of all, SocialFi means social media on decentralized platforms, social finance. The finance part of the name is that there's financial solutions for everybody to get advantage of. And monetizing this, that's one thing that people think that this is something that's a key element. But the fact is that if you think the core was built on blockchain itself, it is independent from centralized systems. And that's also on SocialFi, which means that if you are a user of SocialFi or you are publishing content on SocialFi, you own this content. No Facebook, no other centralized entity own and monetize that. So it's two things. Monetization, of course, one very important thing, that you can start to monetize your content, whatever you produce there. But you control, you own, everything is there. There's no central entity that owns it. So you can do, it's pure clean ownership of the content and data on SocialFi. And that's why it's very big. And there are big applications today already. I just learned very recently that there's XCAD, which is kind of trying to be YouTube on blockchain cryptos. And the one of the biggest early investors was Mr. Beast, the first YouTube billionaire. So we are going to this direction now, and I hope that you start to check those, understand them, use them, and still, when you access to any social file today, you access on Web 2. So you have this Web 2 experience, and if you want to go further away, connect your wallet, again, a little bit too difficult still today, but please spend some time, try to understand these opportunities that exist already today, and you're ready then when it's going to mainstream. It's not mainstream yet, but it will be quite soon.
What do you think, what would change this perception of the Web3 being almost synonymous to scams? I think when we talk to people outside of the crowd, outside of the industry, how can you prove to them that no, we are all very good people here actually? Pekka, if you wanted to give a go at that.
Yeah, of course. Well, if you think internet as such, scamming is quite usual there. So people are scamming each other. So it's like if there's a chance to scam, you scam. But again, on decentralized platforms, application solutions, it's easier because you have direct access to the other party. There's no middleman in between, and there's no recovery of the scam in that sense, and it's totally hidden. But again, it goes to the heart of this need for the further development, and it's combining the off-chain data to on-chain data. And there's a huge development now which is called, and that's the next big version of the internet, by the way, it's called verifiable internet, which means that some of the data comes from outside the chain, off-chain, and it's connected to the chain using, for example, Oracle technologies, and then it goes to on-chain and verifying there everything. So verifiable internet means that everything that there is on internet will be cryptographically verified. It's a little bit technical word, but it means that it's the decentralized mechanisms, most advanced computer code. We don't need to care about it, but it exists there, and it's verifying you as a user, your tokens, your coins, your wallets, your transactions will be cryptographically verified. Technology is there today. Again, it's not easy enough to use yet, but the fundamentals are there, the foundation is there. And now it's just a little one layer on top of which is the ease of use on everything. And that's the solution. That will be the next internet, which is called verifiable internet.
Hong Kong launched their Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs right after the long-awaited Bitcoin ETF has become live across the United States. How do these two balance out? We have users and people that are keen and interested in the technology, but then the regulator that is not allowing it to survive. Where do you see that kind of fight end up? Happy to throw anyone.
Can I start? I'm closer to you. First of all, we need to understand this product, which is exchange-traded fund, and it is security. And you can wrap this security, and inside it can be something else that is not security. And looking at from that perspective, Bitcoin is not licensed and regulated anywhere. It's the ETF product. Inside the ETF product, there is a commodity, which is Bitcoin in US. I just learned again very recently, it is a little bit alarming, that in US exchange-traded fund application and how they were accepted and pulled through, there is a 2 days up to 30 days settlement time to get the actual Bitcoin for the supplier, which means that they can sell the Bitcoin now without having Bitcoin. And that's really dangerous. If you're talking BlackRock and these guys, they certainly can manipulate so much markets during 1 month time. And this is different when it comes to Hong Kong. This supplier needs to own the Bitcoins one-to-one that they are selling. There's no settlement, the immediate settlement on the transaction. And that's something that, let's see how this will turn out to be, but that's really, really important to understand. First of all, Bitcoin as a product, commodity product in US, it's wrapped with the security product, and that's why these institutional investors can buy it. But again, we need big money to join us, as Pranay already mentioned in the beginning. So it's good that big money is coming in because we'll follow what big money is doing, but we need to understand reality also, what we have in here.
That's very interesting. I didn't know about the settlement differences in different jurisdictions. Thank you so much, Pekka, for that. If there was anything that the audience here today had to take away from the discussion, what would it be?
Let me refer a little bit what Brené said in the beginning about the network effect. As we know how big Google is today, and they had one major thing based on their strategy was based on one major thing from the beginning, network effect. That's why they started to give free emails, Google Earth, all these big applications for free. They wanted to build a big ecosystem, big community, a network effect. The biggest networks will take over the smaller networks. And that's something that is also happening on the Web3 and Web 2.5, I'd say. For example, there is one platform that's kind of sneaking up to the list and scales and everything. It's on a chart. It's a chart now, 10th biggest, I believe, and it's called the Open Network, TON. Their ecosystem, it's based on the Telegram, which is the third biggest social media application with almost, listen carefully, 1 billion users, 1 billion subscribers. And these guys who are now using Telegram, they have direct access to Ton wallet, and applications are coming big time. All kinds of gaming, DeFi, all kinds you can imagine are coming big time. Tens per day, hundreds per month on Ton ecosystem, because they have access to almost 1 billion subscriber base. So network effect definitely is something that we need to understand. Big thing also when it comes to developing Web 2.5 and Web 3 applications.
Everybody loves the sunshine.